Full AFK Lilith with Barb. Let's see it. I hope it doesn't move me. Okay, Lilith. Okay, guys, we need to position ourselves a little to the top. I'm not pressing any button. Everything happens automatically. Yep, there we go. It works. AFK Barb, login. Okay, guys, we're gonna do the World Tier 4 AFK Zir challenge. So all we do is we just stand here, and in theory, the guy should just melt. I think we have a pretty good build here. There we go. He's dead. Oh, and we got an Ancestral Helm and a bunch of runes. Easy. So yeah. Hey everybody, it's Rob here. Welcome to the AFK Stormquake Barbarian. This build can basically do the hardest bosses in the game on World Tier 4 and Pit 100. And it can farm most of it while completely standing still and not doing anything. And everything here happens automatically thanks to the new node of Force of Nature here in the Paragon board, making your earthquakes spawn your dust devils. And then I'm using the new rune here, which is a Lilith tech, which basically whenever we stand still for 1 second, we cast an earthquake. And then we have various temperatures that allow our earthquakes to cast twice, and then those earthquakes spawn twisters. And you can basically kill everything with this build. You can AFK farm the Helltide, you can AFK kill Lilith, you can kill here like we are doing Beast and Ice here just in Torment 4, and we can basically like just not touch our keyboard. And whenever this boss spawns, like he'll just land in the earthquakes and boom, he's dead. And then we can go for the next one if we like. And again, like you don't have to do anything. So we can just click this again here. So he'll drop some loot. Okay, we'll spawn him again. And then he'll drop some more loot. And also the runes are dropping on the Uber bosses. So it's going to be very easy, I think, in the live game to acquire these runes. And then he spawns again and, well, he dies again. Boom, there he goes. So I'll show you the full setup here. I'll show you the 100 clear in the end. But again, main principle here is we stand still, we cast a bunch of earthquakes, and the main DPS of this build actually is coming from the twisters. So you spawn all these dust devils with the twister glyph here, 3k dust devil damage, another 1.61x, and you're also dealing quite some significant damage with the rumble glyph here, another 1.7x and 2300% earthquake damage on this. And then we are just basically scaling this damage. We are not playing leap anymore. We are standing still now because of this rune. And we also, in the pits, we also pixel pull everything with our steel grasp into us, basically, that we can then melt. And we are not spending any fury on this build. So we are just losing and gaining fury constantly. But we can also just use ground storm, and then we are gonna have max fury, right? Like we just like ground storm all the time, and we can reset our ground storm very fast. And there is some cool changes to the ground storm that allow this build. We have a tactical ground storm that makes ground storm into a brawling skill, and then you can apply brawling skill cooldown reduction, and you can also get additional ranks, for example, on your boots here, depending on which one you want to play. Like this one here, you get brawling skill ranks, and then my ground stomp only has a 2.6 seconds cooldown. So I can stomp, and I press one Warcry, and then I can stomp again, and I press another Warcry, and I stomp again, and I press another shout, and I stomp again, and so on and so on. If I had an enemy, all these shouts would reset with our Bolt's Chieftain, basically allowing us to permanently stomp, cry, stomp, cry, stomp, cry, stomp, and so on and so on. And this 6 seconds would be reduced by our Bolt's Chieftain. So the combination possibility is crazy here. And we are still rocking and stacking a max fury here for the entire thing here, because we are using double dip of Ramalaldi and Locron's Talisman. Unfortunately, there's still the Ramalaldi Fist of Fate bug, so we can't play Fist of Fate. It would be the best multiplayer. Right now, for the full AFK build, I'm playing Anger Management. But if you're actually pushing or doing like Pit 100, which is basically just speed farm, you put on the elements aspect. I have the full planner here as well. This is what I played in Pit 100. This is the Stormquake. I'll probably also make a second variant here that's gonna like revolve around this AFK build. But the main principle that we change here is we get Anger Management if we want to play AFK, because we need Berserking, because we are not, when we're AFK, we can't press our Warcry basically. But I mean, if you're pressing your Warcry, and I can show you the difference here, if I'm actually pressing all my buttons, the boss will die so much faster, because I can like prepare you know, all these storms. I can prepare like just a bunch of stuff here, and then like he'll die instantly pretty much, right? And the single target is very fast. Like you can kill that Pit 100 boss, I think in like less than a minute once it's like fully optimized. And I don't even have a chance to spawn twisters. So there's still a lot more stuff here to min-max. Now I'm going over the entire gear here after the Pit 100 clear, but basically in the 100 that I'm going to show you here next, I use the Steel Grass. We're not playing fully AFK. I use the Steel Grass to basically pull the monsters with me, and then basically just stand still and keep blasting the boss down. And on top of this, we are using the whenever you cast a skill with a cooldown, which you're constantly doing, then your Druid Petrify is gonna proc, giving you another 1.5x damage multipliers to your crits. And we have a 100% crit chance with the crit, 60%, and then plus the Locran's Talisman. So this is the entire gear that we play. Just gonna have it quickly because I explained it at the end. Harlequin's Crest, Turael's Might, then either Anger Management or Elements. We have the Leap here, even though we don't have Leap on the bar, because we are just standing in those Earthquakes, and we are getting the 30% damage reduction. And we also need the Ground Storm cooldown here for like a 2-second Ground Storm. I can still min-max more. I didn't really roll the Brawling cooldowns because I needed crit, but you can like triple crit Brawling cooldown, and you can also get it on the other ring, basically allowing you to, I think, get your Ground Storm to like sub 2.5 seconds. So you can like, basically you get 2 seconds from the martial reset. So your Ground Storm cry, Ground Storm cry, Ground Storm cry, and then the monsters will cry because they'll all die. So I'm just AFK here, and all these things here, they just keep proccing. So it's freaking amazing. Then on the boots here, I'm playing this Wild Bolt, which like pulls in the enemies. You can also play Fury per second if you want to play the AFK build, but again, for the normal version, like when you actually press your buttons, you can use the Brawling skills here. And there's also like a weird bug with just 17 life per second. I think this is a Druid item, man. 17 life every 5 seconds. And, you know, meanwhile, we are kind of rocking like 10k life, so it would take like an hour to get to full life with these 17 damage. So, yeah, my gear is like still pretty bad. We have Ground Stomp here on the weapon. Fierce Winds, this gives us the big multiplier, so you also want Dust Devil size for the double X on your twisters. Then we have from Malardi. Right now I'm playing life on hit here, but obviously if you're playing the pits, you want the crit damage. And I also choose to put the rune words into the weapons, because I think it's way better to give up some crit damage rather than giving up, you know, 300 strength. Because the crit damage is basically just additive in this build. And we still can get quite a bit. Like I think we have like 3k once I get the crit damage back in here. Again, the life on kill here was for the AFK build. And yeah, then Grandfather, Inner Corn, Bolt's Chieftain, and the Locran's Talisman. Weapon Mastery is X. And skill tree is basically looking like this. We have the Ground Stomp maxed and all the usual suspensions like 3 shouts, shout support, a bunch of stuff here. Call of the Ancients. I think for the non-AFK build you don't want stick skin max, you can just put a raid leader in. But both will work. There's still like a lot of improvements and a lot of cooking. You can do more of this, but I'll show you the exact setup that I used to clear the Pit 100 here at the end, and go into more details. We have the Martial, we have Territorial. This one is needed to get all the close damage that we need for the Force of Nature to max it for 2.5x. Twister Glyph with Decimator. We have Challenger here with Blood Rage. And on top here we have the Rumble Glyph, which actually stacks up to 5 Earthquakes now. And the Force of Nature. And we permanently have this anyways. You see, like this just keeps on stacking like all the time. And the build's pretty amazing. Enjoy the 100, and we have the full gear of the push setup, because it's a little bit different than what I've showed you right now. I hope you enjoy, my friends. Barb Nation, let's rock. Okay, let's try this, guys. Look, we're already spawning ground storms while we're here. How fast can we quake now? I think its train will just have to move forward all the time. Did I put the aspect in? Yeah, I did. Chop, chop, chop. Okay, it's going like pretty fast with the ground storm. We could go even faster. I mean, there's gonna be overlapping many quakes. Can always quake more. Look at this now. He is like getting them into like a corner and they'll melt. Not even always casting Quake right now. Must Quake more. And chop they melt. Okay, we gotta get them up here. I probably wanna like spam it. I feel like it's lagging a little bit when there's this many. Because they are melting! Look, even the big guy is melting. Even though this guy is pretty tanky. Chopped. Yeah, this is the hardest pit here. This build is crazy. I think I might play days on the boots. The pulling is better when I do it myself, I think. That's at least my impression right now. There's a DR guy in the middle here. There's a big spider. Chopped. Okay, that's it. For 1-2 minutes. Easy peasy. Okay, there's channeling pylon. Actually don't know like what exactly the channeling pylon is. Is it gonna be crazy for us? Probably not like crazy. Oh, channeling pylon is bad. I can't press grounds. I can't press challenging shot. Okay, look how they melt though. So many buttons. Channeling pylon, like there's like an input limit with my shouts, and then my challenging shout doesn't go through. Not the best. But chop. Well, actually, we're gonna stay in this corner here. The Twisters are a nice position here in the corner. We're just quaking. Yeah, the spam was real. I was just like, man, why is my challenging shout not going through? I go in the narrow room here. I was actually like trying more and more to pull like. There should be one more pack somewhere. It's here. Let's get them all together. As they just melt the same, like they're all in 1 pixel anyways. So if I get like 6 packs together, like here, the progress bar is gonna go brrr. Look at this. Chopped. Where's my next guy? Oh, they're just flying in. There's a wind bolt on the boots. I need this DR guy to come though. Okay, we're doing it down here. Oh look, another pack's flying in. Oh, welcome into the destruction of natural disasters. Oh, I didn't even see. There's already enough progress. Okay, now we see this boss fight. This time, we're just gonna go full bolt. Don't dodge much. Blast. Okay, this gives me a stack. I can dodge it at the end, I guess. And maybe I don't have to. My groundstorm makes the target vulnerable. They changed the rune. This is the hardest boss fight in the game. Okay, I'm dodging this one. So we don't get a stack. He's gonna be so staggered. If we get big target hitbox, like he's gonna melt even faster. Our next stagger. He's not quite in slaying strike range yet. Okay, we go out. We're going out a second too late. This Barb freaking rocks. Now there's more enemies, that means more quakes. As we get Marshall. We blast really fast. Okay, now we stay in. Trust. He's not even damaging us. Well, and that's it, my friends. Boss gets slain. Gee. Still so much to improve. And we just stand here and the Earthquakes and Twister madness keeps on going. Yeah, once we're in max, man, we can do sub 5 for sure. This build is lit, my friends. It's pretty funny because we can just stand here. It's gonna kill everything, but we just stand. We don't even have to do anything. Just stand there like a man. I mean, we can cast Earthquakes, get some cooldown, and that's it. Gee. That's the build. Whirlwind Barb 2.0. I mean, this is like whirlwinding. It's not really whirlwinding though. We just stand there instead of spinning. But you could say this. So all that makes it possible, guys. We have Yal Yom. Casting a skill with a cooldown does the Petrify. And then here we have Lilith's Tech and we are just standing still. And we are invoking the Barbarian's Earthquake. So you just see here. Like it just keeps going while we stand still. And while we stand still, we can do ground storms, we can do our shouts, we can do our steel grasp and everything. And yeah, we just stand still. And this thing just keeps proccing and it keeps ticking. We get 5 stacks of the Earthquake Glyph of Rumble. And we also spawn a bunch of Twisters with the Force of Nature, which is basically our main damage. We also get some good damage from the Rumble. But main damage is coming from Force of Nature. And this build is just incredibly strong. So we have Harlequin's Crest, Tyrell's Might, Element Gloves here with Dust Devil Size. Then we have here very important Ground Storm cooldown. Right now I'm rocking 2.6 seconds. You can even get this more down if you get Brawling cooldown on all your rings. I didn't have this yet. But yeah, then we have Leap Creates and Earthquake. This is just for the damage reduction. You see here we have it permanently. 30% damage reduction. And also just to get the Ground Storm cooldown, which is basically our main DPS. Boots here you can have Brawling skills. And with the new rune on Ground Stomp, our Ground Stomp is now actually a Brawling skill and also makes everything vulnerable permanently. And also gives us a bunch of Fury for our Maladies. That's basically how it goes. On top of this, we have the Pulling here, the Wild Ball. This is like how the enemies fly in. You can also play Daze if you want to be DPS focused. It's going to kill the boss much faster for sure. Because you can pull yourself with Steel Guards. But the auto pull is kind of funny in this build, as we just stand around. Then we have Earthquake here on the main weapon. We have chance for Earthquake. If you manage to hit it triple, you can also get even more Dust Devils, if you like. But Ground Stomp here with Fierce Winds and then Ramaladi. We have to attack with dual wield once before we start. So you can just, I don't know, put Frenzy on your bar for a second. Just before you even go in, like you just do this, because then you're dual wielding. And then you run Maladi and all the multipliers work, because unfortunately you can't assign your weapons to any of these skills here. They all have a cooldown, that's what makes the Yal Yom so important, and Druid's Petrify just gives us even more damage. And yeah, the madness here still goes on, basically. Then we are playing the Grandfather here. We are playing Inner Calm because we are standing still. We are playing Bolt's Chieftain, now 3 seconds, also very good on the boss now. They buffed it, and then the Locron's Talisman giving us 100% crit chance because we have 60. And we get another 40 from here, and also gives us basically double dipping with Ramaladis, you know this combination. Unfortunately, we can't play Fist of Fate, else this would be a very strong alternative. But there's still the Ramaladi bug, so we can't play this. Or the Ramaladi bug's out. You can play this in the open world though, and it's fantastic. Because actually Earthquake has a decent lucky hit, 33% already. So it's rocking like pretty good. And then the rest of the stats are here, like you can definitely min-max the crit damage more. I have a bit too much close damage. You need close damage to max your your Force of Nature here for the 2.5x to all the Earthquakes, because they actually do some damage too. But once you have your Territorial Glyph maxed, you'll be fine on your claws. And you only need 300 Berserking for Blood Rage. I think I also have a bit of overkill. So I can definitely reach like 4k crit damage once this is optimized. And we have very good scaling with Grandfather and Lock Runs for our crits. But yeah, then we're rocking the X Expertise. And again, we're just dual wielding all the time, like I explained. Skill tree looks like this. So we have just 2 points to unlock. Then we have 3 Tempered Fury and then just 1 more point. I just put it in Pressure Point, but it really, whatever way you put it, doesn't really matter, because there's nothing that does anything here. Then we max Ground Stomp with the Tactical Ground Stomp rune. 8x damage and 4 seconds vulnerable. Plus it gives us Fury that we need for Ramalaldi. And it just becomes a Brawling skill with this upgrade. And the Brawling tag basically allows us to get more ranks to Ground Stomp, even right now. And I mean, you could theoretically ditch Turels and get even more Ground Stomp ranks and Ground Stomp cooldown. We'll see, I haven't tried that, but that's definitely an option too. But then either way, Pit Fighter, Slaying Strike, 1 point in Steel... sorry. We were here. Imposing Presence, Martial Vigor, Rallying Cry, like the Bleeds here. Challenging Shout, you can take this rune for some Fury or like leave it. Doesn't really matter too much. We max Warcry, which is also a Brawling skill. So we also get Warcry ranks on the boots. Raid Leader, Booming Voice, Guttural Yell, Aggressive Resistance. We are just perma Warcry, so we don't really need any more Berserking than that, because we get 3 seconds cooldown of our Warcry. So it's 4 seconds and our Berserking lasts for 4 seconds. And then we have Pit Fighter, Slaying Strike, Steel Grasp. You can go with the extra charge. You can also go with Berserking if you don't have like quite as good Warcry cooldown. That works too. Then we have Counter Offensive here. We have Wallop because we are using a Mace bludgeoning weapon. And we maxed the Call of the Ancients. I would like to use Draft, but we don't really spend any Fury here, so we can't. There's also a version where you play Double Swing, or just any spender, and play with Starless Sky. That works too, and then no lock runs usually. Also gives you a very good damage. But yeah, I like this version. That just stand still and blast. Like you just stand here and everything is gonna die, you know? Like you just like stand here, do your stuff, or you can just wait until everything just basically procs forever. And there's also, if you have perfect gear, you can get triple crit the Earthquakes and then get either Earthquake Duration or chance for Dust Devils to cast twice. So there's a lot of stuff. Just make sure you have 100% size, because with Fierce Winds, we are basically scaling the Dust Devil damage double. And that's what makes it so strong. Paragon boards looks like this. Let me actually clear this filter. So our starter board is Martial, very important to reset Ground Storm cooldown and also our ultimate, and Steel Grasp as well. Then here we have Warbringer with Territorial. Again, this one gives us all the close damage that we need to hit our target goals. Then we have all the Fury Scalers for Ramalaldi. We have Decimator with Twister Glyph. We have a Blood Rage here with the Challenger Glyph. I maxed most of the stuff, like the Dex gives us crit chance, and the Strength obviously gives us damage. But we don't need resource in this build, so willpower is not that great. And up here we have the Force of Nature with the Rumble Glyph. So pretty cool setup, and there's like these strong notes here. Extra Earthquake Duration, that's really important. And yeah, also some Twister damage and just some normal Earthquake damage. But this one is not that crazy. The Earthquake Duration here is the most important one. I'm gonna have a full planner that I'm gonna be linking in the description. I hope you enjoyed the video, guys. And yeah, Barb is going strong here, clearing 100, like actually pretty comfortable with this build. And there's like still so much more to min-max, like getting a better amulet. I can try some more variations of this. I also have overkill close damage, can get another 1000 crit damage. Pretty sure we can do like sub 5 minutes with this, very comfortable in 100, once we get a good run here as well. But yeah, there's a cool build, and we'll be cooking some more on the Barb. Barb Nation, log in, let's go. If you like this video, make sure to subscribe, leave a like or a comment. I'm also live on Twitch almost every day, so come and say hi.